welcome to Ted Chitwood Stadium at Raytown High School. Tonight's Ivy High School game of the week. Suburban White Conference football as number 11 North Kansas City undefeated taking on Raytown on a senior night here for the Blue Jays. Hi everybody, Kevin Wyke along with Mark Boerichter, former Chiefs wide receiver. This is the Ivy High School game of the week here on Spectrum Sports. This game was so good last year, 35-34 Raytown on a two-point conversion fail by North Kansas City. We decided to do it again this year, and we got two good teams, and this could be a playoff preview for next month. Well, it could be a playoff preview. Both of these teams come in here with outstanding records. They really don't like each other. It's a rivalry game. There was some controversy over the ending of last year's game. But as you mentioned, Kevin, both of these teams will probably see themselves in the playoffs if they get through district play here in a week or so it should be a good one tonight. Time now for the Hy-Vee player profile, and we'll start with the Mr. Utility player, Brandon Hall for the Hornets. Well, Brandon Hall does everything for North Kansas City. He's got close to 1,000 yards of total offense, 15 touchdowns on the year. You'll see him carry the ball. You'll see him throw the ball. You'll see him catch the ball out of the backfield. They do everything with Brandon Hall. And for Raytown, this guy is a highly recruited player. That is Dante Manning. Well, Dante Manning, depending on which recruiting service you look at, is a top 100 recruit in the entire country from the cornerback position. But we'll see him tonight in the Wildcat a little bit. He's carried the ball a lot as well. He's that talented, folks. Raytown playing host to North Kansas City. It's the Hy-Vee High School game of the week. Next.
Show, man. You hear me? All right, let's go. Hey, take souls on three, man. 1, 2, 3. Take souls!
Buy your employee-owned Hy-Vee stores. And a chilly night here in Kansas City. Yes. Wrapping up the regular season. And we've got a good one. North Kansas City kicking off to Raytown on a senior night here for Raytown. Calderon with the short kick taken at the 25-yard line by Raytown. And this is Andrew Meggs breaking free down the sideline for Raytown. Andrew Meggs, 75 yards, and that's how the game begins. The Blue Jays with a kickoff return for touchdown.
Well, you want to start a game off. We mentioned in the open, both these teams don't like each other, and Devontae Key took the short kickoff and came to the field and started this one with a bang.
Beg your pardon, it was Devontae Key. Extra point try by Jeremiah Blakely out of the hold of Jaheim Burks. Raytown off to a flying start.
Extra point is good.
Their star wide receiver with the kickoff return for touchdown.
We're going to watch Devontae Key take this to the wide side of the field, and right about here he throws his hand up. He knows he's gone. Nobody to the outside. Well blocked by Raytown. They set up that return to the field, and it's 7-0 Blue Jays to start this game.
Let's go. Let's go.
So their top wide receiver with a 75-yard kickoff return.
Let's go, baby. Just a start. Let's go.
There's Logan Minnick, head coach of the Blue Jays. In his third year, 19-9 record. He got a conference title last year. Former assistant at North Kansas City, so he is well-versed with the Hornets and their coaching staff and their players. Keelan Powell fielding the kick on a knee, and the ball is dead at that point at the 13-yard line. So we'll take a look at the Hornets offensively. They run a spread triple option offense, and their starters Brought to you by Concord Career College. You can start your healthcare career in months, not years. To find out more, visit concord.edu. Quarterback is Seth Matley. He's a returning starter, dual threat quarterback. Motion by Brandon Hall. This is Brown running for a couple of yards to the 15-yard line. Jeremy Brown has over 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns. Matley, also a wrestler at the school. The big thing with him, as far as the numbers go, is no interceptions. He really takes care of the football.
Well, he does take care of the football. They don't put it up in the air a lot with this option offense, but he's been extremely efficient. He's done a nice job of taking care of it.
This is Brandon Hall showing good balance across the 20, close to the first down. It'll be third down and short. As we take a look at your defensive starters for Raytown. Raytown plays a 4-3 defense. Brown is their leading tackler. Bikes leads them in sacks, and Manning is that D1 prospect in the secondary for the Blue Jays. Third down and a yard. Here's Brown, shake and bake, and a first down. Just shy of the 30-yard line. He is a scat back, but he can catch it.
Number 1, Jeremy Brown to carry. Tackle made by number 6, Arias Brown. And that's a first down for the Hornets.
Well, North Kansas City is getting some good push up front.
29.
You see their left tackle, Brian Pacheco, right there, opening up a hole for Brown to get through. They're big and physical up front.
There's Brown again with a big crease. And got yardage to the 33-yard line. Joe Campbell will serve on both ends. He'll be the quarterback, and he'll also play some outside linebacker. So they're going to use him. Kind of player he is, tough guy, Joe Campbell. Second down and 5 for this offense that's 8-0 on the year, averaging 42 points per game. They get most of their yardage on the ground. This time, not much doing. Brown is clogged up. And making the stop was Deshaun Collins, the Mike linebacker. 30-plus tackles on the year.
Number 44,
credit for a tackle for a loss, his 4th of the year. It'll be third down and 7 facing this offense. 346 of their 430 total yards via the ground. This is a team that likes to run the football. They're going to be forced to pass, and now their quarterback is sacked. Derek Bikes leads them in sacks, and he gets another one. Now he's got 4.5 on the year and forces a North Kansas City punt.
Well, Raytown mugged their linebackers up in, showing pressure, Kevin. The big question is, are they going to bail or come? A little bit of a twist inside right there. So Derek Bikes on the inside twist and the stunt. Not picked up, and a free run to Seth Matley for the sack.
Punting unit out. This will be Matley. He's a decent punter, about 30 to 35 yards per punt, and he gets a nice roll here. You got to field the football. And this will cost Raytown a lot of field position back to the 35-yard line.
He got about 20 yards on the roll itself, Kevin.
Ended up being a 50-yard punt. There you look at Joe Campbell. Mentioned he's playing linebacker tonight. This guy that's got offers from Air Force, Augustana, Division II schools in the MIAA as well. Good student. This offense has changed. It used to be kind of a spread. Joe Campbell throwing it 40 times per game to more of a running offense. And we'll see a pass to start the ball game, and Devontae Key, who has the kickoff return, can't make the over-the-shoulder catch. It's incomplete. Coverage by Keelan Powell for North Kansas City.
Raytown likes to match up with Dante Key and his speed on the outside. I like this. You get a changeover on downs, go ahead and take a shot down the field and try to make this 14-0 with only one play from scrimmage with the kickoff return for a touchdown to start it. I like the aggressiveness to take a shot up the field.
Isaiah Mims is in the backfield next to the quarterback, and again, same play. Dante Key can't catch it, and that'll just go right through his hands, incomplete. And now it'll be 3rd down and 10. It's all about Devontae thus far. The kickoff return and the 2 targets early on.
Well, Dante Key wants this one back because this is a beautiful ball by Joe Campbell, right where it needs to be, and just goes right through his hands. But again, they like that matchup on the outside. You know Dante Key wants to make that play, just was unable to come up with it there.
He's their leading receiver, 33 catches, 563 yards, and 5 touchdowns. University of Iowa has already offered him. They already sent Desmond Hudson to Iowa, play for the Hawkeyes. Quick pass to Dante Key, and he's hit immediately by Keelan Powell. They lost yardage on the play. And it will be a 3-and-out for Raytown. How about Powell with the aggressive play at corner, forcing the punt for Raytown.
Well, a real aggressive play by Keelan Powell on the wide receiver screen. Does a nice job of fighting off the block right initially at the point of attack and almost picked this ball off. He was there that early, but able to knock Dante Key down for a loss. Force Raytown to punt the football.
Same case for Raytown as North Kansas City. You see a lot of teams doing this. The punter is their quarterback. They feel they get an edge by having the quarterback stay out there. And Campbell's a left-footed punter. And again, nobody fielding the ball, so the ball's just going to roll all the way down on the field turf near the 15-yard line. Well, Mark, what's the rule on fielding punts? If you aren't sure you can field it, you got to let it go.
Yeah, and in this case, Joe Campbell kind of kicked the ball away from the returner.
It was a low kick.
But I think when we saw the first punt by North Kansas City, you got to come up. The returner for Raytown's got to come up and make a fair catch in that situation. You've got a lot of factors involved. You've got your guys running down the field blocking for your punt return. You got to worry about getting those guys out of the way. Sometimes you just can't get there, though. And on these turf fields nowadays, you never know how that ball is going to bounce.
Well, if it hits the turf, it gets like a 15 to 20-yard extension on the roll. Ball on the field as the mesh point not there for Matley and Brown, but Brown able to reel it back in. It was grabbed by a Raytown player. Saw him reach back and get it.
About 3 on the play, 2nd down.
I'm just going to see right here at the mesh point, never got it in.
Well, that's some good grip on those gloves.
Nice job by Jeremy Brown to go ahead and corral that ball after it was on the turf, because that could have been trouble.
Back to the 13. It's 2nd down and long. Brown trying to cut it back up the field. He's taken down.
Number 1, Jeremy Brown, carry tackle made by number 44, Deshaun Collins. Gained about 3 on the play.
Now with the last stop.
3rd down.
There you look at Leon Douglas, former Lincoln Prep star. Now in his 4th year, coaching North Kansas City. Back-to-back conference titles in 18 and 19 for this team. This team 8-0, 5-0. Going to share the conference crown. Now a wild pitch, ball on the deck, and looks like North Kansas City's going to dodge another bullet. The defending player actually went for a tackle instead of the ball.
Backed up in their own end zone.
This is actually a nice play. He's kind of going for the ball, but taking the body of the man at the same time to try to let his teammates come and get that.
Yeah,
Jeremy Brown was slow to jump on it after missing the pitch. But Seth Matley.
2 fumble recoveries for that guy, saving the day for North Kansas City. Now he checks out on the special teams as a gunner, as Matley on 4th down and a country mile will punt out of the back of his own end zone. gets it out of there, and Dante Key will let this one hit. And again, takes all that bounce and yardage and will get all the way out to midfield. So it ends up being a 45-yard punt. We've seen 50, 45, 50-yard punts in this game. Punter's having a good night because nobody wants to field the punts. And the ball goes to Raytown on the plus side of the 50 as they lead it 7-0 on a 75-yard kickoff return by Dante Key. As we take a look at your Concord Career College starting lineups. Change at right tackle, Derek Ward in for a not playing Jacob Ogun tonight. We've already seen Key with that long kickoff return. Empty set for Joe Campbell, and he'll run out of it. Joe's a big strapping quarterback, and he'll get a nice gain to the 45-yard line, a gain of 4.
Number 1, Joe Campbell keeps it. Takes it up the middle.
Continue with our starting lineups. 4-3 defense for North Kansas City. Guys up front. Orange is only a sophomore. They already say he's a D1 prospect. Joyner playing linebacker with the injury to Hussein. And Powell has 2 interceptions in the secondary, and we've already seen him have the impact in this ball game as he has the assignment of defending Dante Key, and a running play by Joe Campbell, and that's Raytown a first down. This guy known for his arm, but he can run the football as well.
Well, he can. He's real stout at 6'1", 210. About average height-wise for a quarterback, but again, real stout, strong lower body. You saw him put it to work right there.
Averages 4.6 yards per carry. Again, looking for Dante Key. And he's able to bring it in over Powell. First and goal for the Blue Jays inside the 5-yard line. Dante Key with a big-time catch as the play goes 37 yards.
Well, one-on-one
right side.
One-on-one coverage again on the outside. This is a 50-50 ball. And watch Dante Key climb the ladder and come up with this one. And with short yardage here, Raytown has brought in Dante Manning, potential Wildcat formation.
Players running in off the sidelines late from both teams. And now we're going to get a timeout taken by Raytown. As there you look at Dante Manning, who will come in for their Wildcat sets. It's a young man that decommitted from Oklahoma, and now he's got plenty of big time teams he's looking at to go to college. As we go back to last year's game in 2018, it was October, same scenario, except they were playing for the conference crown. It came down to a 2-point conversion. Here's C.J. Price, who's now at Kansas State as a running back, and does not get in, according to the official. And this is how close it really was. It's 35-34, and he's pushed out. Now, he does reach the ball. Watch here as he tries to get it over the pylon, and you make the call. If you ask North Kansas City, they say he got in. Raytown says he didn't, and even if he did, we had 40 seconds to respond to that score as Dante Manning takes it in for the touchdown. 1-yard Wildcat touchdown run. And early on, it's all about the Blue Jays here on their senior night. As Key has a kickoff return, and now Manning with a rushing touchdown, his 14th of the year. Drive by Blakely is up and good. He is only a 9th grader. They say he's got a strong leg. Well, Dante Key had the kickoff return, and now this great catch set him up at the doorstep.
Well, the 50-50 ball, we mentioned he climbed the ladder, went up and made a play. After dropping the last ball thrown to him sets up the power formation in the Wildcat for Dante Manning, the 1-yard plunge. Raytown brought a bunch of big bodies in. They were missing an offensive lineman, which is why they had to call the timeout. They got the personnel in there they wanted to, and it's 13-0.
That extra point went in, didn't it?
And Mark, to be honest with you, Keelan Powell's coverage on that passing play was textbook. I mean, there's not much you can do. Just a great catch there by Devontae Key.
All right, Raytown fans, let's stand up for the kickoff.
Well, last year's game was 14-0 Raytown before North Kansas City came storming back. So this ball game far from over. We expected a high-scoring game between these teams. This will be Keelan Powell from the 8-yard line on the North Kansas City return. Has some room, good blocking there. He has an excellent return as he's across the 40 to the 44-yard line. So it'll be a 36-yard return, and good field position now for the North Kansas City offense.
Kevin, you mentioned nice field position. They've got this ball out at the 42-yard line. They've got to put a drive together here. They're down 14-0 on the road. A couple big explosive plays with the kickoff return for a touchdown, and then we saw that Devontae Key reception setting up the touchdown run. North Kansas City needs to respond here.
Last drive, they put the ball in the field twice before having to punt. And here's Brown. Short gain and a flag. Ball came out as well. And they're saying second down, so it'll be North Kansas City football.
This may be a face mask, Kevin. He threw that flag right at the point of where Jeremy Brown had been contacted.
You're right, Mark. Good call. Phil Stompoli, the veteran official, is our white hat tonight. So this will help Northtown. That'll move it across midfield for the first time on the night.
15. He did.
15 yards to the end of that.
Spotted at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 out of the pistol. Brandon Hall going in motion, and Brown got a couple of yards. Last year they had C.J. Price, who you saw in that clip from last year. Now he is at Kansas State as a running back. He is redshirted. Of course, they had Tommy Adebare, who's now at Northwestern playing in the Big Ten. And I guess he played at 235 in high school. They say he's a chiseled 280 now, so they got him on the weights program there at Northwestern, and he is a rock on the defensive line, but he's played in about 4 games, but he's officially redshirted as well. As Brown breaking free into the secondary. Jeremy Brown inside the 5, ripped out of bounds, just shy of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Hornets. Yes. A nice run there as they spot him down to the 2-yard line.
Well, once he got through the hole, Jeremy Brown just hit the afterburner and the turbo button. One of the things, Raytown had made some adjustments and moving their linebackers up closer to the line of scrimmage the last few series. You saw right there, because of that, once you get to the second level, if you can get to the second level, you can pop open through some space, and Jeremy Brown did it.
And he gets it into the end zone, so it's all about Jeremy Brown, the long run. Puts him 1st and goal from the 2, and he punches it in. His 17th rushing touchdown of the year, so a good answer back by North Kansas City, the visitors here in this conference matchup. And it's a 14-6 ball game. Jeremy Brown with that 4.4 speed is now whistles prior to the PAT try by Ronaldo Calderon.
I got it. The clock ran the whole time, 2:02.
We have an issue with the clock. The clock never stopped after the touchdown.
So we're getting the clock set up here at the Ted Chitwood press box, which I understand this will be the last year for this press box. Once the season ends for the Raytown squad, they will revamp the press box here. Extra point by Calderon is up and good. Jeremy Brown with this long run. He's got that 4.4 speed. He got through the hole and just broke free. Dante Manning with the saving tackle here, but didn't save him for long as he was able to crack it in from 2 yards out.
Kevin, that's a great drive. Big explosive play by Jeremy Brown on the long run and then the 2-yard touchdown plunge. As I mentioned, they needed an answer, being down 14-0 here on the road, and there was your answer. Nice job by the Hornets to put together a scoring drive, and it happened really, really quickly.
You don't want to say penalties kill you, but that face mask penalty kind of got him across the midpoint, and they didn't look back after that, so it's a costly penalty. Now kicking away will be Calderon. Deep back will be Dante Manning.
Well, the first kickoff for North Kansas City, they were clearly trying to keep it away from Dante Manning, but they got it to Devontae Key. Ooh,
Now they go
onside.
onside kick. Ball is covered up by North Kansas City. That's Keelan Powell. Andrew Meggs was right there in the area, but he couldn't get it, and Keelan Powell covers it up just across the 50-yard line, and the Hornets have it right back. Well, now they spot it right at the 50-yard line.
Well, the surprise onside kick right here. The question, I think, is whether the North Kansas City guy on the kickoff team right there touched the ball, but it looks like he touched it right at the 50, which is right at 10 yards at that dividing line. Ball pops loose and they fall on it.
There's Brown, and he gets a quick 5-yard run. Tackled on the play by Arius Brown, the defensive back. Leon Douglas, young coach, only 35 years old, but really done a great job with this program. Team #1 in the district. And even if they lose tonight, as we got a flag down prior to the snap, they have a share of the conference crown for a second year in a row.
Kevin, I mentioned that Raytown's doing some adjustments and moving their linebackers up closer to the line of scrimmage. They're doing some stemming and moving with their defensive line, going from a 4-man front and moving one of the linebackers up to a 5-man front. And that movement right there and the shift and the movement by the defensive line forced North Kansas City in the illegal procedure penalty.
To second down and 10. Fullback and tight end shift on the pistol set. Here's Brown. And he's able to turn the corner. Brown inside the 45 near the 43-yard line. This guy explosive. We've seen this guy. Once he gets those legs going, he is a dangerous running back for North Kansas City.
Well, they've got him outnumbered. They shifted in with their wing and their tight end to the field. Raytown had shifted down to the right, did not make an adjustment, and they had the numbers game to the outside.
The block on the edge there by Samuel Glover, the right tackle. It'll be third down and short, third down and 2. First down and more for Brown. Jeremy Brown also on the track team in the spring, runs in the 4x100 relay. Last week had over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns as they handled Oak Park 50-20. He did play a little bit last year, despite their all-star running back that they had in C.J. Price. And he'll get a gain to the 35, a gain of 2. The clock winding out on your first quarter. In the Suburban White Conference matchup between Raytown and North Kansas City. The home team, Raytown, leads it by a touchdown, 14-7, as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week right here on Spectrum Sports. Tonight's game brought to you by Hy-Vee, proud to support Greater Kansas City High School athletes and athletics. 2nd down and 8 from the 35 as we begin play in the second quarter. Kevin White, Mark Bowler, the entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew. Here goes Jeremy Brown again. Some great balance inside the 25 near the 23-yard line, a first down run. This guy getting more and more confident.
Well, I'm out of the loop in Madden and everything else and what buttons are used for what, but watch him stop and start again several different times. The agility, we saw the speed in the first quarter from Jeremy Brown, and right there we saw his ability to cut on a dime.
First down run. This play is thrown for a loss, as that was Brandon Hall getting his first touch, and it's Derek Bikes, the Will linebacker, with a tackle for loss, leads the team in sacks, but nice play here by Bikes. Yes.
Nice play by Bikes, but that play was really made by the defensive line with the penetration inside, forcing Brown to the outside, just nowhere to go.
I got something cooking here, run huddle. Got trips. Got cheat over.
Loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. Give it to Brown, and he is tackled immediately by Deshaun Collins, the Mike linebacker.
Number 1, Jeremy Brown.
And again, Bikes involved as well.
Watch Deshaun Collins just work over the top of the combo block. Kind of hit himself right behind the defensive tackle, just scraped over the top to make that play in the hole.
So back-to-back tackles for a loss by this Raytown defense, who gives up about 13.5 points per game. Had 8 takeaways. Motion by Jeremy Brown into the slot. Matley flushed, flag is down, throwing down the field, pass is broken up, incomplete. And a second flag is down as they were looking for Skylar Carey, number 14. 2 flags to address on the play.
I think this is going to be a holding call, but if Seth Matley had looked to the wide side of the field when Jeremy Brown went in motion, Raytown did not adjust out on it. He was wide open down the seam initially.
Holding is the call on North Kansas City.
You're going to see right here, working outside the framework. And Samuel Glover, the right tackle, just working his hands outside the framework. It's a good call by the officials. Right on the edge.
They've declined the penalties, so it'll be 4th down and 15 at the 29-yard line. I think the Hornets are going to go for it. They're 80% on 4th down conversions this year, so they've had a good percentage on their tries.
We're going to quick kick this.
Yep. Matley, can he coffin corner it? No. Into the end zone he goes. There's a flag down near the 25-yard line.
There's a flag down on the play.
Personal foul on North Kansas City.
Penalties against the Hornets.
I think the question is whether this happened during the kick or after the, or excuse me, before the kick or after the kick. And it wasn't whether it was a dead ball foul or not. If it's during the play and they take the penalty, it's just going to back North Kansas City up and they're going to punt it again. If it was a dead ball foul, they can tack on 15 yards from where they're starting right here.
Still trying to spot the football. And they'll spot it at the 35. So the ball went into the end zone for a touchback. Should have been at the 20. Then they got the 15 yards tacked on. So move it from the 20 to the 35. That's where it'll be 1st and 10 for Raytown, leading 14-7. Team 6-2 Raytown, 3-2 in the Suburban White Conference. Currently #1 in their district. They lost to Fort Osage in their district, so they'll drop to the 2 slot, and they will host William Chrisman in their first district game. As this is the Wildcat, and Dante Manning runs it across the 40-yard line. So this is their new style of play, and it was developed by the quarterback Joe Campbell. Suffered a bruised tailbone, so they started to use it. And then a couple weeks later, at game against Ruskin, Joe had the flu, so he couldn't play. So they started using it, and they say, hey, we kind of like this. Dante's an elite athlete. We're getting plus yardage here. He's scoring touchdowns. We're going to keep doing it.
Well, you mentioned over the years, Joe Campbell has thrown for an absolute ton of yards here at Raytown. Not very often you see your starting quarterback used as a lead blocker, but they used him right there in that last play. And here again.
And Dante Manning streaking to the edge. And he's near the 50-yard line before he's run out of bounds. That is a 1st down. Once again, if you're wondering about this guy as far as a recruit, I'm told these are the top 5 teams he's interested in going to right now. This is the top 5 currently. OU, which he decommitted to already. Texas A&M, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Oregon. That's 5 pretty good programs.
5 pretty good programs, and one of them was on the sidelines earlier tonight in Georgia.
So
it still is on the sidelines, actually.
So they've got somebody here looking at Dante Manning, and just ran for a 1st down. As Campbell back out there, slinging it down the field, and what a catch by Devontae Key as he gets it inside the 30. That looked like an NFL wide receiver right there, Mark Bogerichter.
Well, I love, first of all, this is a great catch by Devontae Key, but I love this throw from Joe Campbell. It's a back shoulder throw, and Devontae Key knows exactly where he's at, goes up and catches that ball with his hands, doesn't let it get into his chest, gets the foot down and moves the chains for Raytown.
24 yards on the catch by Devontae, and now Joey Campbell will run it and lost the football. Ball is loose. Let's see what the call on the field is. It is a turnover. Oliver Norris recovering it, the safety man. So Campbell coughs it up, and the safety man Oliver Norris, the junior, with the fumble recovery for Northtown.
Well, simple quarterback power right here. The question is whether his forward progress
That's
was
what
stopped.
I thought he was
stopped there from his forward progress. When this ball came out live, it was really late, but as you see it on the replay, he definitely looks like his forward progress is stopped right here. But nonetheless, it's a turnover for North Kansas City.
And they get their offense out there. And Matley pitching it up, ball loose. And the quarterback jumps on it. trying to do a pitch to Brandon Hall, and timing just wasn't right on the play, and Matt Lee able to recover it. So that's 3 times we've seen Northtown put the ball on the field, but they've been able to get it back.
This is just Brandon Hall looking up the field a little faster than before securing the football, because there was a lot of green turf in front of him to run, and he may have been to the house for a touchdown if he corrals that ball from the pitch.
There's Brown. Brown spun down as he crosses the 35-yard line. Brown has the rushing touchdown.
Number 1.
2-yard rushing touchdown.
Well, if North Kansas City can just stay patient with their running game, Raytown has made some adjustments. I mentioned earlier, they're stemming and moving their defensive line. Their linebackers are playing up within 1 to 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. If they can find a little bit of a hole and get to the next level, they can really make some headway in their running game and from an explosive play standpoint.
Tackled by Derek Dukes, but Jeremy Brown able to get the first down on the short pickup. These teams have played, I don't know, you say the schedule would be a weak schedule, but really, Mark, you can only play the teams that they put in front of you, and you don't see a lot of winning records in either one of these schedules, as this is the quarterback, Matt Lee, and he has thrown for a loss. But conference down this year as far as Suburban White. But if North Kansas City were to lose and Fort Osage were to win, they would be co-champions. So Coach Douglas has back-to-back conference championships under his belt. And this team is number 1 currently in their Class 5 district. And we'll get Leon to talk about later in the year as the pass thrown and incomplete to Joyner, the tight end. Some pushing and shoving after the play as fans grumbling in this Suburban Conference rivalry game. You know, it's going to get heated here, folks.
I'll tell you what, Derek Dukes provided the pressure for Raytown, but Brandon Hall was wide open down the sideline, and because Derek Dukes is right there, Seth Matley can't set his feet, as Brandon Hall was 10 yards behind any defender.
3rd down and long. Here's Brown. And Brown not get the first down yardage. He got a big chunk there, though. It's going to still be 4th down facing the Hornets. It'll be about 4th down. They still need about 2 or 3 yards, but a good run by Jeremy Brown.
Nice run by Jeremy Brown. Good seal by the left tackle, Brian Pacheco. We mentioned him earlier. Nice job of sealing that edge.
Punt formation by Seth Matley, the quarterback. Punts have been long tonight. Nobody is back. North Kansas City sending it down the field. Raytown thought it was going to be a fake, as just going to let this one hit. It's not one of his better punts as it trickles down to the 23-yard line. This one only a 31-yard punt, no return, and Raytown getting it back, but you could see they were really gung-ho about stopping a fake punt situation there. It's just 4th and short. And it's Joe Campbell in the offense, checking out on the field. Got a 4-receiver set for this Raytown offense. They're a spread Wildcat team. They try to keep the ratio 50-50 as far as run to pass. Here's Campbell running. And Campbell will get it to the 30-yard line and gain about 7 before he is taken down there by Edric Hill.
Simple power football by Raytown. Getting good push up front. 2 lead blockers for Joe Campbell.
Quick pass, incomplete. Trying to do a quick slant there, and nice play by Keelan Powell from North Kansas City. He's got the tough assignment of defending against Devontae Keeb, and I think he won this matchup this time.
Well, this is 2 quick screens in a row that we've seen here in the first half to Devontae Keeb that Keelan Powell has been all over. They put a safety deep over the top so he can be aggressive. Looks like scouting it that North Kansas City is expecting that.
Third down, Campbell using his speed to the edge. Nice stop on a dime cut. He's got the first down, but there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage, and this might be coming back for the Blue Jays.
By number 99, Taylor Long on number 1, Joe Campbell. And it'll still be third down for the Blue Jays.
Everybody walking back. Holding is the call on Raytown.
You go from picking up the first down because it's a spot foul. You see the hold right there. Right there, a little bit of a tug on the jersey. But you go from picking up a first down to now this being about 3rd and 16 yards because of the spot foul, the holding.
Campbell hit as he throws down the field, and the pass is caught. What a catch. Adrian Morris with a acrobatic catch across midfield for a 3rd down and 16 conversion.
There's no... I'm surprised this ball was completed because it shouldn't be. There's 2 guys right there, and the free safety Solomon Glover doesn't make a play on the ball. It allows Morris just to go up and high point this.
Goes 26 yards and a first down by Adrian Morris. Wide receiver. It's a speedy kid. Here's Joe Campbell setting up the screen, and it's open for Jaheen Burks. Or I beg your pardon, that is Isaiah Mims. And Mims with a first down catch and run on the screen pass.
Well, this was a cheeky little play, and I love it. I love the design of this. You get flow to the wide side of the field, bringing Dante Manning across the formation. Everybody goes his direction, and they sneak Isaiah Mims from the other side underneath a little hide route on the screen for the big game. Well-designed play right there by Raytown.
23 yards and a first down for the Blue Jays. Here's Campbell going to run it. Quarterback draw. A couple of yards inside the 20, and there's a flag down thrown by the umpire this time.
Joe Campbell with the carry. And that's the Hornets in on the tackle.
Face mask call on NKC. Big night here at Raytown. Military Appreciation Night, Senior Night. And a rival in town, Northtown, taking on Raytown. Big crowd in attendance. As they're spotted inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal after the penalty walk-off. It's Wildcat time with Dante. And Dante keeping his balance into the end zone. And it is a touchdown.
Number 8, Dante Manning.
No signal from the officials, but it is a touchdown. Dante's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. find something you like on offense, you stick with it. That's been the case with the Wildcat and number 8 running it, Dante Manning. Swinging gate action on the PAT. Boy, we're seeing everything tonight. We need to reset the play clock. And now the extra point try by the freshman kicker, Blakely. He's 3 for 3.
21-7.
And it's now 21-7 Raytown, trying to get the upset over undefeated North Kansas City. And that guy has been great on defense, but he just adds a dimension offensively, and that's just great balance on this run.
Well, there's a reason why he's one of the top recruits in the entire country, in the top 100. His athleticism. And when you've got a playmaker like Dante Manning, you got to get the football in his hands. And they've been creative, as you mentioned, Kevin, with Joe Campbell having an injury and then being out with an illness earlier on in the year.
No damn 40-yard line.
Giving Dante Manning the opportunity to make some plays
Here we go.
out of the backfield in that Wildcat-style formation. Let his athleticism take over.
Coach Minnick in his 3rd year. Came to this program from the Kearney program, but we mentioned he spent 4 years on the North Kansas City coaching staff. He's also coached at Staley and Richmond. He's a native of Richmond. Went to William Jewell College. His wife Courtney teaches in the Raytown district, a 1st grade teacher at Northfleet Elementary. And it's an onside kick, and wow, big hit as the fullback Anthony Rodriguez got the football and then got hit immediately, but he secured the football and he is okay. It'll be Northtown football near midfield. No. So you say you want to be on the hands team, Mark Bo-Richter?
The hands team is the worst job in the world. But this wasn't the hands team. This was normal kickoff return. Trying a little bit of an onside kick. After North Kansas City did it to them on their last kickoff, but this one North Kansas City pounces on.
Isaac Yzagari had that big hit on special teams. Here's Jeremy Brown for Northtown. Minimal yardage. Ball supposedly came out. Raytown saying they have the football. The officials say no go there as Jalen Rose, one of the seniors honored tonight, came away with the football. But they say the whistle had been blown and Jalen Rose will yank it out of his hands. And this running play, not much doing as Donald Brown with a devastating hit. They say this guy's been their top defensive lineman, and this play shows why.
Well, Devin Brown works off the double team and beats the double team using his quickness to the outside and then delivers a huge hit. That's a big play by Donald Brown.
Last year he was an all-conference offensive lineman. They said, we need you, Donald, on the defensive line. And he said, I'll do it, coach. And he has had a stellar season. Now 3rd down and long. Matley over the middle, finding Joyner, the tight end, for the 1st down inside the 40-yard line. So a 3rd down and long and an 8th catch of the year for Daniel Joyner Jr. His dad is the offensive coordinator, and they move the chains. That is a big 3rd down conversion for Northtown.
A big 3rd down conversion, and Seth Matley stands in here knowing he's going to get hit, as Daniel Joyner found a soft spot in the zone to move the chains.
Here's Brown. Much doing there. Tackled by Deshaun Collins. Deshaun, a junior. He's the Mike linebacker. Derek Bikes is the Will linebacker. And Joe Campbell and Gary are the Sam linebackers that play a 4-3 defense. Second down and 10. Here's Brandon Hall on the cutback. And Brandon gets it to the 29-yard line. Dante Manning brings him down. The call decided I might lose this football if I keep trying to run, so I'm going to just come down here. As Dante looked like he had the ball carrier and had the ball as well.
But with a minute to go, North Kansas City has an opportunity here to put some points up on the board before halftime.
Hall the catch, breaks a tackle, and then run down at the 15-yard line. Well, I say he stepped out a little further up the field, but it is a first down.
At the 15-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Hornets.
I thought Brandon Hall should have got out of bounds here. Does a nice job inside. I mean, they've got all their timeouts. But right here, but right here, he should have just headed out of bounds and save a timeout for your team in that situation. But clock stops to move the chains, and now North Kansas City's taking that timeout.
There you look at Coach Joyner, who's the offensive coordinator. He's got the stocking cap on, talking to his players here. Played at UCM in his college days, was an offensive lineman, and has his son Dan out there. There's Dan, number 3, as a tight end. It's a good family story. North Kansas City football program. Special night for Raytown, as we mentioned, but also a sad night as they pay tribute to the passing of Coach Glenn Brush, longtime coach here at Raytown, teacher of some 30 years, coach wrestling, football, and softball. We'll have a special ceremony at halftime for him. Swing pass, here's Joyner, the tight end, inside the 5, and tripped up by Manning down to the 3-yard line. It's going to be first and goal. So Dan Joyner coming up big on this drive.
Well, I love this call, little play action. You see Joyner block for just a second, then slip out into the flat. He's wide open, and now North Kansas City's got an opportunity inside the 5-yard line.
Raytown coaches well off the sidelines asking for a timeout as we're down to 36 seconds to go in your first half. Coming up at halftime, we've got Hy-Vee at the half. Numbers and highlights brought to you by your employee-owned Hy-Vee stores. Great to be in Raytown tonight. Cool night on senior night. We're at the Ted Chitwood Stadium. Ran into the basketball coach here at Raytown, Cody Buford. Excited for the winter sports season for his Blue Jays and his basketball team. I said, are you going to get Dante Manning on that basketball team? You got to find a spot for him. He's such an elite athlete. He said, well, he's got all these all-star games, like the Under Armour all-star game, and he's just concerned he's going to miss too much time. And Coach Buford said, we'll worry about that. You just get to the practices you can get to, and we'll get you the playing time you need. Here's Jeremy Brown. He is stuffed. Maybe actually lost yardage.
Number 1, Jeremy Brown takes up the middle. He stopped immediately.
That was Derek Bikes involved, the linebacker.
Timeout's called by North Kansas City.
Well, I think this was a handoff all the way because Seth Matley otherwise should have pulled this football to the outside. They pulled their guard. Vondre Lewis, who sealed the edge, and it was a walk-in touchdown if he actually pulls this ball on the option. But I think this is a give all the way. You can tell it's a give all the way inside because if he pulls that, if it's a read, he pulls that to the outside and it's a touchdown. So it was definitely an inside handoff all the way.
This is a timeout for Northtown with 31.2 to go officially on the clock here in the stadium, as these are some important points for the visitors trying to get back in this ball game.
Let's remember, too, that Raytown got the football to start this game with the kickoff return, so North Kansas City is going to get it back to start the second half. They can make this a 7-point game here.
Running play to Brandon Hall, and second effort. He's short, it looks like. They're spotting it inside the 1-yard line. North Kansas City players are saying touchdown. The officials not signaling a touchdown. And they will use their final timeout with 19 seconds to go before halftime. Brandon Hall got stood up and then lifted up. And the Hornets said he scored. The officials disagreed. Okay, he's lifted up there.
You're going to watch that tackle. That's Dante Manning, who's going to come in and save this touchdown right here. North Kansas City saying he gets in as he falls down. It's tough to say. He looks a little short there. But where he went down.
Well, the ball inside the 1-yard line. Take another look here as Manning colliding with Hall, and then he kind of lifts him up, and maybe they blew the play dead at that point.
Well, the ball looks like it's short of the goal line right there, and then he kind of slides over, and the officials are all over it. You can see where the goal line is here on the field, and you can see where the ball comes down. It appears to be short. It's not in his right arm, it's in his left arm. It's definitely short of the goal line right there, so good call by the officials.
Quarterback sneak with Matley. Still no signal from the officials. And they say the ball was fumbled. What's the call? They have not signaled anything on the field. The officials now meeting. There's 4 seconds on the timer. This is absolute chaos.
The officials are still discussing if this was short or not. And they stopped the clock so they could discuss it because North Kansas City doesn't have any timeouts.
Raytown coaching staff in the press box and on the field screaming, run the clock. The officials are still huddled to decide what the call is. And all the while, the fans are yelling and screaming. As I said, total chaos.
I'm not really sure what the discussion is here. If it's 4th down, the simple explanation is it's 4th down and you wind the clock with 4 seconds to go.
Saying it's 4th down. Now Logan Minnick is getting explained to him by the referee, Phil Stompoli, and you can tell by his body language he's not liking what he's hearing.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to see anything because this is just a quarterback sneaking all these bodies inside here.
Now, it looks like,
you know, does the second effort. We can't see whether the ball is across the goal line or not. And the officials got to come in and try to figure this out. But we haven't figured it out yet.
So here we go. It'll be 4th down from inside the 1. North Kansas City all bunched up. And now there was early movement by one of the blocking players as we've got early movement. Penalty on North Kansas City. There's still time on the official game clock.
We're going to watch the right up back right here move forward.
Looked like the fullback move. Yeah, the fullback. There was several players moving. Clock is running, and we have reached halftime. So, with no timeouts, North Kansas City could not stop the clock. After they marked off the penalty yardage, they wound the clock. It ran out. They got 0 points, and now North Kansas City will have their time with the officials. And they are frustrated by that sequence to end the second quarter. A lot of confusion, a lot of chaos, and neither coaching staff that thrilled, but I'm sure Raytown is happy that they denied Northtown any points, and they'll take a 21-7 lead into the halftime locker room as they try to upset the undefeated North Kansas City Hornets here. Confusion and chaos to end the second quarter. Okay, they're going for it on 4th down inside the 1. They got a penalty because early movement by their blockers. Looked like several players moved early here, Mark.
Well, several players move early here, and it moved right on the whistle because there was only 4 seconds left on the clock. So this illegal procedure penalty. The clock was a little late to start, as you saw it at about 3 seconds there. The officials didn't do anything to put any more time on the clock, and what ends up happening is North Kansas City still huddled up, and this is not like the NFL where you get a 5-second, 10-second runoff, etc. for an offensive penalty. What happens is on a legal procedure, it's a dead ball, you're just backing it up, but the clock doesn't stop. The official, when he winds the clock, is not winding just the play clock, it's the entire game clock. And North Kansas City was not up on the football to run another play, and here we are, 21-7 to end the half.
So no points for North Kansas City. They trail 21-7 at the break. You're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Spectrum Sports. Hy-Vee at the half coming up next. Welcome back to Hy-Vee at the half with the Raytown leading Northtown 21-7. Time now for the Hy-Vee first half highlights.
Well, Kevin, we started off with a bang in the opening kickoff with Dante Key. And the kickoff return 75 yards for a touchdown to get the scoring started here tonight as Raytown got off to a fast start. And early on, it was the Dante Key show. They went deep to him twice. He dropped one of them. But this 50-50 ball right here took him down to the 1-yard line and set up their second touchdown of the game of Dante Manning out of the Wildcat formation in the 1-yard plunge to make it 14-0 Raytown. North Kansas City finally got something going offensively with Jeremy Brown with this explosive run. And then set up the next play with his 2-yard plunge to finally get North Kansas City on the board, 14-7. And then Raytown answered back. This was a 3rd down catch by Morris down the middle of the field. It was a huge play for Raytown to extend the drive. And a few plays later, Dante Manning again from about 8 yards out to make it 21-7. And that's where we stand here at halftime. Of course, we saw the final drive of North Kansas City that we already talked about as we look at the halftime stats.
And your stats brought to you by Hy-Vee. And pretty close there. It's 1 turnover by the Blue Jays.
There's not a lot of difference really between these two teams. You see 92 rushing yards for North Kansas City, 100 through the air for Raytown, almost identical, just on opposite sides of rushing and passing. Equal on first downs, the 1 turnover by Raytown. Other than that, it's been a pretty even game, Kevin. The special teams touchdown right now is really the difference in this game, and that stop at the end of the first half.
The opening kickoff by Dante Key, 75 yards, got Raytown off to the fast start. They lead at 21-7 at halftime. Back with the second half after this timeout on Spectrum Sports. Tonight's game brought to you by Concord Career College. You can start your healthcare career in months, not years. To find out more, visit concord.edu. Score at halftime. Raytown leading undefeated North Kansas City 21-7. Big plays here in the first half by the home team.
Well, it's been the first half of explosive plays, and it started on the opening kickoff. I know this was only a 75-yard touchdown in the books, but Dante Key ran another 45 across the field as they brought the return back to their bench. And then the 50-50 ball. This was the third one that they tried down the sideline to Dante Key, which set up their second score. And then this great catch on the sideline. It was a great throw by Joe Campbell and an even better catch by Dante Key, getting a foot down on this third down play to Adrian Morris, where he goes up and gets the football just past midfield, extended a drive for Raytown that they capped off with a Dante Manning touchdown. So it's been a first half, Kevin, of explosive plays on both sides, as we saw the Jeremy Brown explosive play that led to their only touchdown of the game as well. The chunk yardage plays have come in and been a big factor here tonight.
Next week on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week, it's playoff time. Yes, we flipped the calendar to November, and we don't know what the matchups are as of yet. We'll sift through those, mull them over, and we'll get either a Kansas or Missouri playoff game for you next Friday, November 1st on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. I promise you a good matchup. I don't know which state. Raytown will kick off to start the second half. Blakely will kick off to Keelan Powell. And we got the opening kickoff by Dante Key. And we've seen some onside kicks mixed in here, so you never know where this ball's going to end up. The freshman kicker, arm in the air, and we are underway with the third quarter. This will be Keelan Powell from the 12-yard line on the return. Going backwards, breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle, and then tackled by the third member of the special teams for Raytown. And And that's where the ball will be placed. Isaiah Mims, who's the running back for Raytown, making the special team stop. Well, Mark Borichter, you're North Kansas City. You drove it all the way down and got 0. Where's the confidence level with this team, and how important is this first drive of the third quarter?
Well, I think their confidence level is okay right now, Kevin. I really do. I mean, it can be deflating in the momentum, but the best part about that is you get the ball back to start the second half. You don't have to go out and play defense. You get an opportunity here right now to go down the field and possibly put some points up on the board. So there's no better way to get the ball back in your hands offensively here and try to redeem yourself a little bit.
Donald Brown with a tackle for a loss on Jeremy Brown. Don Brown meet Jeremy Brown, and it ends up in a loss of 2. I mentioned that Donald Brown was an offensive lineman last year, but they say he's the most improved player on their defense. You can definitely see it out there. He is something else. Here's Brown on the cutback, and he runs into a hard tackle. Making the stop was Deshaun Collins, the linebacker, and one of the top tacklers for the Blue Jays.
You know, Kevin, a lot of time left in this game as we just start the second half here. For North Kansas City, you need to stick to your running game, be patient. Let Raytown try to sell out with their linebackers, as they talked about in the first half, up near the line of scrimmage, because you can pop one for an explosive play.
He got 3. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for Matley and the Hornet offense. Setting up a screen to Brandon Hall, and he is ripped down. And guess who? Dante Manning. Where did he come from? I didn't even. He just kind of flew in and grabbed Hall.
Well, that
spun him down.
There's a reason right there why he's a top 100 recruit in the country. His closing speed. He's coming from the safety position. Actually, this screen was set up tremendously. He reads it and runs by 3 of his own defenders to make this play. And if he doesn't make this play, there's a lot of green turf down to the bottom of the screen for Brandon Hall to continue running. But you saw the athletic ability and the talent of Dante Manning on that play.
Leads the team in total tackles, all conference. And he's a big-time D1 recruit as Matley, quarterback slash punter. Punt formation on 4th down and 12. Flag is down. Here's Devontae Key on the return. And Devontae already has a kickoff return, has a nice punt return here. He's going to get 23 yards on the return. There is a flag down back near the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is going to be an illegal formation. I don't think they had enough guys on the line of scrimmage for North Kansas City on the punt team. I'd imagine that Raytown is just going to go ahead and decline this with the nice return.
Raytown will start 1st and 10 at the North Kansas City 27-yard line.
And the penalty on Northtown is a player running on late. And then the misalignment, the flag. And it's all for naught, as Mark Borichter said. They are going to decline the penalty and take the great yardage, as they're going to have it at the 27-yard line is where they officially spot the football for Joe Campbell in the offense. And Joe going to be taken down by his jersey at the sidelines. Making the stop there was Malik Bogart.
Number 45, Malik Bogart.
Well, they're going to use Dante Manning as a lead blocker. Just nowhere to go for Joe Campbell inside, so he tries to bounce this out. But as you mentioned, Bogart all over that. Not allowing Campbell to get to the outside.
You got 3 Maliks on their defense. Malik Bogart, Malik Gibson, and Malik Johnson. And this is Dante Manning. Quicker to the edge. It's a nice gain on the play. As we see the Wildcat in action with Dante Manning. Has a couple of rushing touchdowns in the game, and now 15 on the year. Guy has 2 kickoff returns as well, so he and Devontae Key now have 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. 3rd down and 2 for Dante Manning. He'll run off the right side and acquire the first down. Didn't get a lot of yardage on that play, but enough to get the first down and move the chains.
That's a Raytown. First and 10 Blue Jays down to the 16-yard line.
Well, you mentioned, Kevin, not a lot of yardage, but just enough. And put the hands in the ball in number 8 and let his athletic ability take over. Understood exactly where he needed to get to, which was the 16-yard line. 16 or 17-yard line, and got an extra yard.
Campbell back on, takes the snap, spins away from a wave of tacklers, and takes it inside the 10-yard line. Nifty run by Joe Campbell, the starting quarterback. Heard his name the last few years, putting up all kinds of passing yards, but he can actually run the football as well. He's averaging 4.6 yards per carry.
We talked about him earlier being 6 foot 210, really strong lower body. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks running, going to look for contact, but he certainly was not shying away right there, sticking his shoulder down on that run.
Second down and short. Here's Campbell. Ran into Dan Joyner, and he did not get the first down. Joyner making the stop. Joyner playing linebacker because they've got an injury. Baywan Hussein is out with a knee injury, so they've asked Dan to play tight end and also switch over on defense and play linebacker for them.
No surprise here. Dante Manning back in the Wildcat formation.
And it's Dante time as he's using his speed, but he get the first down. Wait and see the spot of the football. It looks like he has enough. Just they say he got out at the 5, so it'll be first and goal. It looked like they had the stop made, but he got it.
This is just the speed of Dante Manning. North Kansas City did a nice job of stringing that run out with their pursuit. They set the edge, just continued to push it to the sideline, but just his speed to get around the edge was the difference on that run.
Looked like the strong safety, Oliver Norris, had the angle and was going to stop him shy of the first down, and Manning took advantage. Now Joe Campbell running out of the Wildcat, and he's in for the touchdown. Say a 4-yard rushing touchdown for Joe Campbell on senior night, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year, and Raytown adds to their lead here in the early part of the third quarter.
Kevin, they had great field position after the punt return, but this was just Raytown saying, we're going to run the football right at you, and you're not going to stop us.
Blakely continues to knock through the extra points, 4 for 4.
And with that extra point, Raytown leads 28-7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All day, every day.
It's power football coming at you.
It's just straight power football coming at you. And on this drive, with the great field position, these are the soul killers that offensive coordinators love to have, offensive line coaches and offensive linemen. We're going to run the football right at you. 8 plays, 27 yards, nothing flashy. We're going to put a hat on a hat, move you off the line of scrimmage, and just play power football. They ran a couple to the perimeter, a couple times with Dante Manning to move the chains, but when it comes down to it, Raytown's offensive line getting the job done and getting some push and putting another 7 points up on the board.
Stand up for the kickoff.
Expecting an onside kick are the Hornets. Instead, it's just a pooch kick that's handled by one of the up men. And he does the wise thing and fair catches it. Good field position now for North Kansas City, as that was Malik Gibson.
Their own 37-yard line.
Their linebackers. And wow, if you're in North Kansas City, have to have the big comeback here. Otherwise, they're going to drop to 8-1, suffer their first loss of the year. Brandon Hall goes in motion. Quarterback Matley pitching it out to Brandon Hall. And Brandon Hall meet Dante Manning, and it'll be a tackle for a loss. Dante Manning is all over the place tonight.
With the tackle. And a little Ray Lewis shimmy afterwards. And it's second down.
Well, North Kansas City's had some opportunities with this option game to the outside, but they put the ball in the turf 2 or 3 times, once with the exchange and then the pitch. They really don't seem to be in sync from the quarterback to the pitch guy.
Here's Brandon Hall with the catch and then fumbles the football. And looks like Raytown has covered it up. Still waiting on a signal. Officials meeting. There it is. 40-yard line. Fumble recovery by the Blue Jays after Brandon Hall made the catch and then coughed it up. It'll be Arias Brown with the fumble recovery.
Well, you're getting the ball. You're getting the ball in the hands of your playmaker, and guess who? Dante Manning got his mid in there, knocked that football loose. As I mentioned, trying to get the ball in the hand of your playmaker, Brandon Hall on the outside, but Dante Manning in that wing spin, getting that paw in to knock that ball out, and Raytown's back in business.
Joe Campbell in at quarterback. Wants to throw it, and going to Devontae Key, and they go for the throat and strike for the touchdown, 40 yards. Big night for Devontae Key.
Well, sudden change. Offensive coordinators that are aggressive love this on sudden change. You get a turnover and take a shot deep. You get the defense reeling a little bit, licking their wounds after having to come back out on the field right away. I mentioned earlier, they like that matchup on the outside with Devontae Key. They've gone that direction several times and do it yet once again.
6th receiving touchdown by Devontae Key. Blakely, 5 for 5 on PATs.
And Raytown leads.
Well, you recover the fumble, and then you say, Joe Campbell, go long to number 9, and it works for 40.
Well, Joe Campbell knew where he was going all along. One-on-one coverage, bump and run. Keelan Powell's had his hands full. Pretty decent coverage, actually, on the outside. Just doesn't have the speed to stick with Devontae Key. And another big explosive play for a touchdown.
The quote I heard for Devontae was by Coach Minnick. He says, we got to get the ball in number 9's hands. And there you see why. He's a special player. Iowa's already offered him, but he's got other looks. Missouri State has offered. Missouri is sniffing around the Tigers. But there you see the receiving night. And throwing a 75-yard kickoff return. And Northtown officially in trouble on the road tonight. Their perfect season looking to come to an end as another fair catch called for by the linebacker Gibson. Fans are grumbling because a Raytown player was knocked to the deck, covering the kick after the whistles were blown. So this is is what the fans are all grumbly about here, is Dan Joyner knocking the player down after the whistle had blown. I think Dan, in defense of him, he didn't see that the ball had been fair caught. Just trying to do his job on special teams. Pitch out to Jeremy Brown. Brown across the 40 to the 42. And they're trying to strip the football. Dante Manning involved in the stop. It's a good run by Jeremy Brown, who has a rushing touchdown on the night.
I've been extremely impressed with Jeremy Brown tonight rushing the football. When he sticks his foot in the ground against north and south, it's like he hits a turbo or nitro button with the amount of speed and explosiveness he has.
He got 7, second down and short. Pass down the field, incomplete, as they were targeting that time Skylar Carey, and pass came up short and incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 3 facing North Kansas City.
Well, we haven't seen North Kansas City throw the football too much tonight, but right there, 2nd and short. They're comfortable in 3rd and short, 3rd and 4 and 5 with their rushing game. Go ahead and try to take a shot down the field.
Brown, the first down run between the hashes.
He spins up the middle, and it's a 1st down for the Hornets. 1st and 10 at their own 47.
Badly needed 1st down for North Kansas City. Hornets 8-0, coming in 5-0 in conference play, but when you run down their wins, you don't see a lot of strength of schedule. No winning teams on the schedule. As Matley, the quarterback, with a nice read. Flag down after the play. Matley a little slow to get up after that nice run.
Flag down on the play.
Now Phil Stumpoli going over to Leon Douglas to talk to him. Things getting a little chippy between these Suburban White Conference teams.
We mentioned this rivalry, the controversy last year, right, with the 2-point conversion. Now the score the way it is, it's getting a little bit chippy.
Holding penalty, so wave off the 1st down run by Seth Matley. Spot penalty on the holding and the walk-off. It's going to be 1st down and 15 after the penalty yardage is tacked on, and Matley throwing down the middle to his tight end Joyner, and it's going to be intercepted by Raytown. And it is Devontae Key, the strong safety, having a big night. Too bad I can't read your number, Devontae.
And that's a Raytown.
Devontae Key
1st and 10 Blue Jays at their own 29.
getting his 1st interception of the year. And the 2nd turnover by Northtown.
Are they going to throw it to him here? They've done it all night long.
Well,
Sudden change, you just got the interception.
I think he would welcome it, if that's what you're asking.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Now they go with a wide receiver screen. He gets a good block on the edge. Nice cut. And he got about 8 yards on the play. Devontae Key.
Pass is complete. Number 9, Dante Key with the reception.
Well, he had a big ball game last time these teams met. I think every time Devontae Key is on our Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week, he shines. But that's the kind of player he is. He is an elite level player. He and Dante Manning. And I think I told you that, Mark, before the game. All you got to worry about is 8 and 9. And Campbell running off the right side. No gain.
Joe Campbell goes up the middle.
These are big-time players, Devontae Key and Dante Manning. And now it's Dante's time to do some wildcat and try to convert on 3rd down and 2 for the Blue Jays.
Kevin, I'm just going to let you know right now, number 8's getting the ball, okay? Just in case you're curious.
Wow, really going out on a limb on that one.
And he's going right.
Okay. He's going left here. And he got the 1st down as he got to the 40-yard line.
Right to about the 40-yard line.
Well, they had it set up to go right. He decided to go left there and just use his.
Well, on the previous
great
drive, he
speed.
did the same thing. That everything looking like it's going to go to the right-hand side, and they just kind of let him pick a hole and go where he wants to go. And using his speed to the outside, nobody can really catch him. They can't contain him on the outside. North Kansas City's done a really good job, actually, on the edges with him. With his speed, he can just get around that edge and pick up the 1st down.
Dante Manning going to stay out in the Wildcat on 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Breaks a tackle. Across midfield. And finally wrestled down by Malik Johnson. Not after a 1st down run. That was a exciting run. It's like a brawl out there with him running the football.
Well, he just keeps his legs churning, and then you got a couple stiff arms in here, a couple spin moves. It's just extremely hard to take down.
It's a 15-yard gain and a 1st down for the Blue Jays. This will be Joe Campbell back in the game. Nice tackle there by Solomon Glover, who's a twin. His twin brother is on the offensive line. As Dante trying to catch his breath on the sidelines. Campbell with a short gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Pretty sure Dante is okay. Just catching his breath. Getting some water, and he'll be back in to run the Wildcat later in the game. I was curious how much they run the Wildcat. Coach Douglas of North Kansas City says it's about a 30-40% clip. And now Campbell running to the sideline. Didn't get much there. Trying to use the stiff arm. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 facing Raytown. Be a big win, but since they lost to Fort Osage, I was talking to Coach Minnick, they can't win their district seeding as far as the #1 seed. They lost to Fort Osage a couple weeks ago, 32-28. And now we're going to get a timeout for Raytown.
Raytown's trying to make a few substitutions, and they're fine at this point, Kevin, with the score the way it is. Let that play clock go down to 1, call timeout, and get organized here on 3rd down.
That spot, fold to the left. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, we just need to get that back.
Now let's go back to the turnover action. Ball's been on the field a lot tonight for the Hornets. They were able to get on 4 of the 5 times they put it on the field turf.
The ball's been on the turf a lot tonight for North Kansas City, and this one right here was the one. The last one. And the last 2 turnovers, the fumble that led to a touchdown, and then the interception to start this drive.
Officially 3rd down and 7. And Campbell going to run for it. It's going to be 4th down. He's a couple yards shy of the 1st down.
Number 1, Joe Campbell's carry takes up the middle. Tackle made by number 45, Malik Bogard.
Bogard made the stop.
It's 4th down, but they're going for this all the way right here. I don't think there's any
Yeah, I don't think
thought with
any
Coach
hesitation.
Logan Minnick that they're going to try to punt this away or quick kick it.
Number 8 is back out there, Dante Manning, and they're going to go for it. Raytown 25% on 4th down conversions. And Dante, second effort, looks like he got it. Initially looked like he had it, but second effort by Dante, and he's able to get the 1st down for the Blue Jays as he gets it inside the 35-yard line.
Well, just student body right. We're just going to pull everybody to the right-hand side. Let Dante Manning find a hole. And Daniel Joyner came up and made the hit. Dante Manning with a couple spin moves to extend the football past the 1st down marker.
Campbell back in. Joe will try to run. And Joe will get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Taken down by Jayberth Oputi. Met Jayberth at practice this week. You got to help me with this pronunciation. Jayberth Opute. He's Micronesian. Mark Borichter, trivia question. Where is Micronesia?
It's a good question, Kevin. That's why I just call football games.
Okay. Well,
Geography is not my strength.
little island in the Pacific. Second down and 10. Without a penalty, this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter as Campbell ducks his head and shoulders, gets what he can. Clock will wind out on the 3rd quarter, dominated by the home team, the Raytown Blue Jays, 6-2, trying to upset North Kansas City. Looking good as we go to the 4th quarter as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week right here on Spectrum Sports. Tonight's game brought to you by Hy-Vee, proud to support Greater Kansas City High School athletics. Kevin White, Mark Borichter, and our entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew bringing you the action tonight in Raytown. And the home team looking good, Mark. Balanced scoring. Got the ground game going. And their big stars, Dante Manning and Devontae Key, living up to billing.
Well, they certainly are living up to billing, but I think that sequence of events at the end of the 1st half really killed all of the momentum that North Kansas City was trying to get back.
Jaheim Burks goes in at quarterback, and before he came to Raytown, he was at Raytown South, and he was a quarterback, and Joe Campbell went to the wide receiver position, and they couldn't hook up, incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down and 8.
They're trying to get cheeky here. They snuck Joe Campbell out wide. The 2 guys over the top, nowhere really to throw the football for Jaheim Burks.
Oliver Norris, a strong safety who's top 5 in his class, the junior class at North Kansas City, was right there on the spot ready for that play as Campbell back on 4th down and 8. Blue Jays going to go for it, or will they quick pooch it? We've seen some punts out of this area. Now Joe going to zip it down the field to Dante Manning, and incomplete. That was close, but the coverage by Roman Vibar, the junior secondary player for North Kansas City, able to break it up. Ball over on downs now to Northtown.
Well, this is a mismatch as they move Dante Manning out to the bottom of the screen. They were going there 100% all the way. This ball looks like it just went through his hands. It's like Vibar may have just got a hand on it or got his hand in there. Or that's a touchdown for Dante Manning.
Now we get a timeout for Raytown before the ball is snapped by North Kansas City, taking over at the 32-yard line. So Raytown will have one timeout left. They lead it 35-7. The game got off to the great start.
Throw it over your head offense. Safeties be just one step more patient. Get everything tackled. I still want 3 and out here, but no trick plays, nothing over the top that would give them any momentum to get back in this. Does everybody understand? Be patient and tackle and you win a damn football game.
Inside the defensive huddle with Coach Manning there.
Well, I like what he's telling his guys. Hey, I want to talk to him real quick. We're going to call a timeout for here. We don't want to give up anything behind us. No big plays. Let them take as much time off the clock as they want to. Make them be meticulous on offense. Don't give anything big up behind you.
Matley handing off to Brown, and Joe Campbell swings him to the turf.
Number 1, Jeremy Brown, preparing tackle.
Not much doing. Usually you don't see your quarterback playing linebacker in a Class 5 or Class 6 ball game. I think Joe Campbell just loves to play football, and wherever position they put him at, he'll go out and give it 110. Second down and 10. Matley in trouble and going down. It looked like Collins made the first contact. The linebacker was blitzing. And now Seth Matley is shaken up and down on the field. Nice pop back up.
Raytown was definitely bringing some pressure, and it is Collins off the edge, unblocked. An easy sack for Deshaun Collins.
Seth was a little slow to get up, but he is back out there working out of the pistol on 3rd down and a country mile. The running play to Brown, not much doing. Now a flag is down after the play. Mentioned that the chippiness factor has picked up here in the second half, and it's going to be on North Kansas City. And they've got to be a frustrated group, Mark. I mean, they're 8-0 and cruising through the season, and now they're struggling on the road tonight. As there you see the extra blocking after the play.
Personal foul called against North Kansas City.
No, it's getting chippy, Kevin. We mentioned these two teams don't necessarily like each other all that much.
15 yards.
Rivalry game. A chance they could see each other in the playoffs down the stretch to get through the district play.
Yeah, you have to win your district, and if they were to meet, they would meet in a state quarterfinal game. We'd like to see a repeat of these two teams playing. It's an exciting game. As Matley in punt formation. Let this ball take a hop, and then it'll be the Dante Key show. Dante Key, can he get a punt return and a kick return in one ball game? No, denied at the 1-yard line, and he took a nasty hit from DeAndre Lewis.
Dante Key with the return, and he is tackled just shy of the goal line.
It's going to be a 49-yard return with a wicked ending to it.
North Kansas City, I think, thinks he's just going to let this go. And watch this move right here. Oh, no, he did not. And then it's off to the races for Dante Key.
And then that.
They're ruling right there at the end. That ball, it's a big shot he took.
Yeah, the ball came out.
It looked like the ground, when he hit the ground, the ball popped out, though, in that situation. And now we got a lot of confusion from North Kansas City getting guys on the field.
So from the 1, it'll be 1st and goal. And this will be a walk-in touchdown for the Raytown Blue Jays, and it is Dante Manning. That will be the hat trick for him tonight. 3 rushing touchdowns. And for the season, he has 16. Remember, they haven't been doing too much of this Wildcat. This is a new installation. The referee, Phil Stompoli, is on the Raytown sidelines talking with the coaching staff. Now back out there, and they'll try an extra point with freshman kicker Blakely. High snap, Jaheim Burks. Remember, he's a quarterback, and he'll just run it out of bounds, and the PAT will fail. 41-7, all Raytown tonight. Won the turnover battle. What a night of returns by Devontae Key. Takes it at the 47, runs it down to the 1-yard line, so 46 yards on this punt return, and paid for it there at the end. And then Dante Manning pushed it across the easy way, untouched. 2-point conversion, the snap just a little high.
This is a really smart decision by Jaheim Burke, though. Burke's nowhere to go with it. Don't bother throwing it up in the end zone. Just run out of bounds, especially with the score the way it is right now.
Brandon Hall, the deep man for North Kansas City. Everybody jockeying around trying to figure out where this kick's going to go. This will be Brandon Hall muffing it. Brandon Hall just across the 30, and another flag is down.
Number 5, Brandon Hall with the return, flag down on the play.
Still sorting out the penalty. It's a holding penalty on North Kansas City is the call. And the Hornets are fortunate, Mark. If the extra point goes through, we've got running clock for them. So instead, the snap is high, and the difference is 34. If the difference becomes 35 in the second half, you get the running clock. Instead, the PAT, the snap was not there. North Kansas City will work with the clock stopping. And here's Brandon Hall off the right side on a jet sweep. He gets a nice gain to the 28-yard line of 7 yards.
Well, this is really the identity of North Kansas City, this last play to Brandon Hall. The jet sweep, move some guys off the line of scrimmage, allow Brandon Hall or Jeremy Brown to find an opening and pick up 6, 7, 8 yards a pop. That's what they've done all season long. They did that early in this game. The Raytowns put the pressure on them and make them a little more one-dimensional.
That looked off kilter as Making the stop is Derek Dukes. Last year, his brother Demillion played for the team. Still got another brother coming through the system, Deshaun. He's a freshman. So more Dukes brothers play on the defense for the Raytown Blue Jays. They love having them. 3rd down and 6 facing North Kansas City. Both teams will have a bye next week before they start their district play. Pass to the sidelines is caught. Flag is down. Running for the first down is Anthony Rodriguez, fullback. Kansas City has the first down, but once again, a penalty flag is down.
And holding is the call against North Kansas City.
So we get a holding penalty on the Hornets. That'll deny them the first down and make that man a little bit unhappy. What's going through his mind right now? They've had an 8-0 year. Now they played a soft schedule, but you can only play the guys in front of you, and you're just getting you know the brakes beat off you on the road here against a team you don't want to lose to. You're supposed to be the conference champions here.
Well, look at this situation. It is what it is for you. You just try to get out of this game and be healthy. As you mentioned, get a bye next week, regroup, and get ready for the playoffs.
And scrambling is the quarterback, Matley. And
Number 15, Seth Matley.
Sometimes these losses in these situations can kind of wake your team up a little bit, you know.
Maybe you're not as good as you think you are, guys.
They certainly didn't come into this game coasting by any means.
No,
but from a confidence perspective, sometimes you get knocked off that pedestal a little bit. You bring that hunger back up from inside your guys going into the playoffs.
Well, it's leaving them 4th down and 1. Hornets down big. They'll go for it. Brown will not get it. Ball over on downs. There was 5 black shirts waiting for him.
Well, Donald Brown made this play with his penetration. He's not going to get credit for the tackle. But his penetration, you're going to see it right at the top of your screen, to the left of your screen, right here, beating the tackle, or beating the center, excuse me. Forced him back inside where the rest of his defense could clean it up. He really made that play.
Now you got to give some credit to Walter Withington, a senior. On a senior night for the Blue Jays, they won't soon forget, as they continue to dominate North Kansas City and run their record to 7-2. Player running on the field, and we get another timeout by Raytown.
Kevin, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's never good when you're missing your center of all people when you get on offense. You're missing an offensive lineman, not a guard, not a tackle, but your center.
Well, we've seen some stars shining for the Blue Jays tonight, and Devontae Key started the game off fast. I couldn't identify him. I thought it was Andrew Meggs on the kickoff return. Instead, it's Devontae Key breaking at 75 yards for pay dirt. And he got him off to the fast start, but he's known more for his wide receiver skills. There's a great catch, despite the good coverage by Powell. And there's a toe tapper on the sidelines by Devontae, and then going for the throat after the turnover. They strike with a 40-yard touchdown pass, and then he's playing defense too. Got an interception, Mark.
Yeah, every time the ball has touched his hands tonight, he's been electric. And then this punt return that set up the last score from him. He's been fantastic tonight.
This time they were looking for Adrian Morris. Incomplete over his head on the pass. Well, there it is, over 100 yards receiving. Also over 100 yards on returns of kicks and punts. Coach Minnick says we just got to get number 9 the ball. Get the ball in number 9's hands and we'll be all right. And you can see why. He is some special player. 2nd down and 10. Campbell setting up the screen. Incomplete to Isaiah Mims.
Incomplete. Third down.
Incomplete pass stops the clock, which Raytown does not want. Now facing 3rd down and 10 with just over 7 to play in regulation. Blue Jays going to celebrate a senior night win as they go to Dante Key, and it's broken up. Powell was there. Also coming over was the free safety, Saul Glover.
Well, Keelan Powell's had his hands full all night. Really, he's done a pretty good job. Just hasn't been able to keep pace on these go routes with Dante Key, but on this one, kept pace, got his hands in and knocked the football away. You gotta love the fight, and Keelan Powell on the outside tonight.
He's just a sophomore, but he looks like a good player. He's got good speed and shows some good toughness out there. Expect big things out of number 2 for North Kansas City in the future. It's 4th down and 10. Everybody going for it on 4th down. It's 4-down football. Campbell hit as he throws and finds Jaheim Burks trying to angle in. Touchdown. The Raytown route continues. 47-7. 26 yards on the passing play from Campbell to Burks. Freshman kicker has been good all night, and he continues. And now the running clock will be put upon the North Kansas City Hornets offense. Just crossing here is Jaheim Burks, and Campbell stays in the pocket, takes a hit, and delivers the pass nicely.
Well, zero coverage, man-to-man in the secondary for North Kansas City. You mentioned Joe Campbell took a hit as North Kansas City brought a ton of pressure on that 4th down play. Left Jaheim Burks one-on-one with Malik Johnson across the field, and he won the battle.
That's a dime. You throw it up? You throw it up? Yes, yes.
Brandon Hall deep back, but you see a lot of shifting and people motioning because they don't know where this kick's going to go. Is it going to be an onside kick? Is it going to be a pooch kick? Are they going to kick it long? It's a lot of uneasy return men for North Kansas City. Brandon Hall waits at the 20. Something to put on the scouting report, that's for sure. This one will be a deep kick. And it's going to stay in play. And Hall going to pick it up and take off. Denied the 20-yard line, so yeah, boy. Just more for the visitors to worry about. It's the kickoff team, and just don't know where the ball is going to end up.
Well, they've been pooching it all night long, really short to the right-hand side, and Brandon Hall was starting to cheat up, and so Raytown said, okay, we'll kick it to deep left corner. Brandon Hall did a nice job. Thought that ball was going to go into the end zone, but then had the presence of mind, knowing when it wasn't, to just go ahead and pick it up. It's a nice play, really, by Brandon Hall.
Matley keeping it on the quarterback read option, has all kinds of running room as a breakdown on the Raytown defense, and Matley is finally bumped out. Seth Matley with a big-time gainer inside the 20-yard line. 58 yards. And what happened here?
Well, Raytown really sold out for the run to Jeremy Brown inside, and Matley just pulled it on the option to the outside, and nobody was home with quarterback or pitch responsibility, resulting in the big gain for Matley.
He had to be one of the more surprised players. Now throwing to the back of the end zone, incomplete, as the receiver that time was Riak Mabor. Riak is a basketball player, starting on Coach Marlin's basketball team, and tries to make the over-the-shoulder catch. This is his first year playing football and could not make the catch. Incomplete.
That's a great throw by Seth Matley to the outside. Mabor just unable to track that football into his hands.
Yeah, Coach Douglas bringing in some of the basketball players to play wide receiver. This is the other one, John Elfel. John actually has 4 catches for 87 yards. His older brother, Jonathan, now playing at Northwest Missouri State, college basketball.
You mentioned their basketball players on the outside playing football. Size advantage for those receivers. Just trying to throw it up and see if you can get a quick score.
And the quarterback on the read option gets hit hard by Derek Dukes. Derek's had a nice game tonight, the junior defensive end for the Blue Jays.
Mr. Manley, meet Mr. Dukes, and it's 4th down.
Well, Dukes just gets on Matley before he's able to pitch the football. It's a pitch read all the way, but brings up 4th down.
4th down and 13. And Raytown takes the timeout.
Timeout taken by Raytown.
That's the
Raytown is out of timeout.
Yeah, they were out of timeout, so the flag is thrown, and the Blue Jays will be penalized.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Coach Minnick using a lot of timeouts, and
well, you only get 3, Kevin. Just
yeah,
in
well,
case you were curious.
That was
you
number
don't get
4.
4.
Yeah, that was
number
the
4.
4th one. His team up 48-7, but he's still intense on the sidelines. Still demanding excellence from his team, as all good coaches would do. And it's going to make it 4th down and 8 with the 5-yard walk-off. Bach will run with the point differential here. Matley looking to throw it back. Got away from one man. And going down, he is sacked. Tripping him up from behind was Deshaun Collins, who's had a nice night at linebacker for Raytown. So the ball goes over on downs to Raytown, and just clipped his heels here, Mark.
Well, this is the old throwback screen to the tight end is really what they wanted to do. But Matley didn't have time initially in the pocket to get that ball to Joyner. He was open initially and just scrambled for his life at that point, with nowhere to go with the ball.
Collins and Bikes done a good job at linebacker tonight. Campbell in the offense coming out to run off the last few minutes of this ball game. Running play, not much doing to Isaiah Mims. Involved in the stop was Malik Gibson, one of the 3 Maliks on the North Kansas City defense. Maliks on all levels. You got Malik Bogart on the defensive line. You got Malik Gibson as a linebacker and Malik Johnson in the secondary. It's 48-7, folks. What do you want? We're in the Malik stories now. Campbell waiting for the play clock to wind down to a few seconds, and then he'll hand it off, and breaking free is Isaiah Mims. And they can't tackle him. He's finally brought down outside the 10-yard line. What a run by Isaiah Mims, the junior tailback for Raytown.
Just inside. Isaiah Mims just gets by the arm tackle, and then right here he's going to carry defenders for another 15 to 20 yards before he's finally taken down.
61 yards on the run by scatback Isaiah Mims. They want the play clock to be run, and now it's rolling as Campbell in the offense have it 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. And Campbell will not take the snap from center until, like I said, the play clock is just got a few ticks left. Raytown gonna celebrate a big senior night win. Giving off to Isaiah Mims, and he's got a couple, and that should do it for the ball game as Raytown dominant at home. They got off to the fast start with the Dante Key kickoff return of 75 yards and never really looked back. North Kansas City got it down to 14-7 at one point, and then the scoring stopped.
Well, it did, Kevin, in that sequence of events at the end of the first half where North Kansas City looked like they were going to punch it in to make it a 21-14 game. Ended up being 21-7. They failed to convert it, and that really right there was the momentum that after the first half, North Kansas City really couldn't get anything going, and Raytown pounced on that momentum and just pulled away.
No points before halftime, and then really it was, like I said, it was 14-7 at one point late in the first quarter, then 34 unanswered by Raytown. They win at home 48-7 on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Senior night 2019 for Raytown is extremely special for the Blue Jays, 48-7. And Mark, you made a good point before we went to break about that scoring chance for North Kansas City before halftime. They got zilch and really kind of lost the momentum, and Raytown dominated the second half. So Raytown goes to 7-2. They go to 4-2 in the league. North Kansas City still wins the league as they dropped 8-1, 5-1 in the league, but they might have to share the title if Fort O wins tonight. But you know, it's the chances you can't take advantage of, and they were denied right before halftime, and they never recovered, I don't think.
No, they never recovered from it. And I mentioned, you know, they got the ball back to start the second half. You could get another opportunity, but they never recovered from that sequence of events at the end of the first half. Really the difference in this ball game was a guy by the name of Dante Key. All night long, he made plays from the opening kickoff, taking it back 75 yards for the touchdown. They targeted him the first couple plays. He was the difference maker in the ball game tonight.
Yep, over 100 yards rushing, and also, I should say 100 yards receiving, and then on the return yardage, he had over 100 yards and a touchdown, so 2-touchdown night. Special thanks to the school's ADs, Patty Hutton and David Garrison. Thanks to our coaches, our producer, Joe Novacek. For Mark Borichter and entire Spectrum Sports Broadcasting crew, Kevin White saying so long from Chitwood Stadium at Raytown. Have a great weekend.